Okay. For like 5 minutes. Gonna set the charts up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that next week. Do that next week. Yeah, I just write down the ranges too. Honestly, I don't even know why that even. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely gonna get a range rotation. I'm definitely gonna get a range rotation right here. Isn't that interesting? That's exactly the area I was looking at. Isn't that interesting? You said GME? Let's look at that. Let's look at GME right now. God damn. Yo, what? What just happened? Did something happen over? Wow. 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 It's $60 post pre-market. What the hell happened? What the hell happened? Did something get posted on Twitter or Reddit or something? Wow, it jumped, it gapped up $20 pre-market. So that means if GME is gapping up, that means AMC is also gapping up as well. Or yep. AMC gapped up overnight. So let's look on Reddit and see what's going on. Oh, okay. So we're talking about this is like Raging Kitty, right? Roaring Kitty. Roaring Kitty. We got GameStop. Or no. Oh, hold on. Is this next week? Yeah, we got GameStop's earning next week, but I don't know what that would make the market pump overnight. But yo, congratulations about being in that, man. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah, that's exactly right. See, with options, and this is just for people that don't know, or people that are just unfamiliar with options. You don't need the market to reach your target. As an example, let's just say that you have a 70 strike in GME. When the market is this volatile, you don't need it to reach your strike. Just take your profits off the high IV spike, because once it goes down, it goes down. Once the volatility clears up. I mean, as it continues to go up, obviously the IV is going to continue to spike, but you don't have to wait when the stock is being volatile. So yeah, and if he takes profits or he says something weird that the market doesn't like, you already know that the stock is going to drop. All right. So let's get into it. Okay. So we had a couple of plays play out today. We had to wait for them. And obviously these plays happened off stream. So if you took them, congratulations on them, because these levels were to the T. I don't know why this. All right, so everybody already knows what we got tomorrow. Honestly, what I'm more surprised about is that the market didn't necessarily set itself up, unless that drop that we got early in the session was the setup. I do expect the market to rotate higher. And I will share those levels with you momentarily. But let's get the news out the way, and I'll share those levels that I'm looking at for the Nasdaq and for the NQ, or for the ES. Okay, so obviously we have a lot of employment news that's going to come out at 7:30. The average hourly earned, the average weekly hours for the month of May. You got labor force participation for the month of May. We got non-farm payroll coming out. We have underemployment and unemployment rate for the month of May. Wholesale inventories at 9. We have a Fed speaker at 11 o'clock. And we have some energy news at 12. And the consumer credit change at 2 o'clock. I'm surprised that they have this one as a low event. I would not consider this to be a low event. Yes, it's at the end of the day. However, if the market sees this number, and obviously good news is bad news and bad news is good news, if this is a bad number, this can definitely move the markets, because this would just add fuel to the Fed needs to cut rates. So this is actually mismarked. So I would keep an eye on this one as well. Consumer credit change. Make sure you keep an eye on that. But we got a light block of news for tomorrow. So obviously after non-farm payroll releases, everything else would be secondary to it, because the market is going to trend in either direction based on this number. So yeah, honestly, like I've shared before, the only meme stock that I've ever participated in was the AMC meme stock. I think I may have participated in the Bed Bath and Beyond initially, but because I didn't really trust it, I didn't necessarily stay in that one. Obviously, in hindsight, it was a good play, but I never would have imagined Bed Bath and Beyond being a stock that would moonlight the way it did. So, but in this market, anything is possible. Anything is possible in this market. Okay, so as we spoke about early in the stream, the market was definitely in a downtrend the entire time. What's unfortunate about this market is that you can see that the market is trending down. However, trusting a bearish move down is just very hard to do these days. I mean, as you can see, We traded through three areas of supply without any exchange. And we spoke about this in yesterday's NA meeting. The only reason why we got this range and this grind down is because the market has finished its objective, and that neither market participant or neither side of the market would want to overextend. Like the bulls wouldn't want to push price higher, and the bears wouldn't want to push price lower, because obviously the bulls have shown that at every dip, the bulls will buy. So I kind of expected this chop. We got the chop. We got the grind down. And for the fourth session in a row, or almost, yeah, the fourth session in a row, you can see that the bulls came back in towards the end of the day and pushed the market up higher. So this is for the ES, and this is the Nasdaq. Okay. So let's talk about the Nasdaq. Where's my pencil? Let's talk about the Nasdaq. So me and Smith was actually I actually took some Nasdaq trades today. It's been a while, and I will say that the Nasdaq is a sweet drug. And not trading the Nasdaq for as long as I think it's been about maybe 2 months since I've traded the Nasdaq, since I've taken a trade on the Nasdaq. And I will definitely say that the Nasdaq is not a beginner-friendly instrument to trade. The main reason why it's not a beginner-friendly instrument to trade is because of the emotional state that the Nasdaq will put you in. I haven't felt adrenaline like the way I felt in a while. And obviously, having all that adrenaline running while you're trading, that is not a good recipe. That's not a good combination. So today was just a reminder of why I stick with the ES. But my goal is to make trading the Nasdaq simpler, because you will get more money-making opportunities on the Nasdaq versus the ES. But until then, yeah, it's better to trade the ES, because, man, that was such a rush. Me and Smith, we caught this move down. We caught this move down, and towards the end of the day, we caught this move up. And yeah, that was a wild ride. So that was fun. So we made money in our accounts. I'm gonna talk about the ES trade that I spoke about earlier in the stream once we get to the ES. But man, that was a great trade. If you took that trade, that trade at 51, we called both 51 and 45 for the market to bounce. Both levels hit. The first trade was a 10-point trade. The second trade was, I believe, about 16 or a 20-point trade, I believe. It was about a 20-point trade. I missed that second trade because I walked away from my desk, but we'll talk about that trade once we get to the ES. But right now, I see a couple of ranges. I see a range here, and I see that the market left an additional range right here. We've already got a breakout from this range right here. And so far, I know that can't be right. I guess it is. Okay. So right now, price is making its way back into this range right here. You can see that, at least for this range, the bulls are consolidating right here. And honestly, I do believe that the market is going to probably consolidate here for the majority of the night. I do expect a breakout from this level, possibly retesting about 110 to 120. I do expect for this to happen tonight. I don't expect for the market to trade more than this. And if the market hits this 110 to 120 level, I do expect for the market to continue to chop to the right. That's what I do expect. For the rotation above this range, so actually, let me just mark that off. So for a rotation above the range, me and Smith was looking for that 150 to 160 area for the bulls to take it to. Obviously, if we get the market data going into tomorrow, I do expect when the market whips back and forth, I do expect for the market to tap into this area right here. And I do expect for the market to retest this low right here. I do expect to see a move like this. If I don't see a move like this and I see the market move in one direction, my initial bias will be that the market is trying to sweep liquidity higher. And from here, we're going to get a rotation down. Or if we get a sweep lower, then I expect the market to trend up. Now, obviously, this is just my current bias. It will change once the data is released and the market begins to move. But for right now, this is what I'm going to expect. Wait 1 second. Let me look at this. So I do expect, so if we get a move higher, I do expect for the market to get up into this I do expect for the market to at least tap 190, somewhere in this area, because this is an expansion move higher. And actually, let's look at that fib tool. Let's look at that fib tool. How do I want to do this? So yeah, I already expect the market to touch this 150 level because the market likes specific, obviously those psychological numbers. They like to touch that 120 level. After the 120 level, they like to get into that 145 level. And then after it hits that 145, it likes to retrace. And then it likes to hit that 50 level, 60 to 80 level. It likes to hit that 90 level. And then it likes to hit that 100 level. I've seen the market consistently do that. And once I see, and now that we have no price action above these highs, I expect it to follow that same sequence as well. This is a fib tool that we found to really work well. If you can anchor it off of a decent high and low, we can usually see, yeah, this looks right. And yeah, this makes sense to me. Me and Smith was actually looking for the market to trade into this 150 level towards the end of the day, which was highly unlikely. But if the bulls were able to break out of this range and get a range rotation higher, that 150 level, or at least that 150 to 140 level, would have been a great level for the market to trade into. Actually, I do expect for the market to get to this 180 level. I do expect for it to get to this 180. If we get a move up, I definitely can believe that we can get here. We can possibly trade past this. The market's at 1974. That would be a 100-point move. That's the Nasdaq can easily do this. Can easily make an 100-point move higher from here. Yeah, I do expect that. But if we make a move lower, which honestly, in my opinion, may actually be what the market really does. Because even if we get good news tomorrow or the bad news that the market is expecting, because of the way that we traded through these areas of resistance without really no exchange, in my opinion, it's more likely for the market to do business, to finish this business in this area, in these areas, and then make it move up, versus making it move up, leaving all this untouched. But the bulls, I mean, the bulls have had this market in a chokehold. So logically speaking, this move down would make more sense. But the market's going to do what it wants. So for right now, because we have major news, we really can't necessarily plan our trades. And I believe the market is really going to trade in a range until we get tomorrow's data, because you can see during today's session that every time the bears tried to rotate price lower, the bulls bought it right back up. The bulls are not allowing this market to rotate lower. And you can see that the bulls are becoming more aggressive. The bulls are becoming more aggressive now. They're not waiting for pullbacks. Big money is getting in at the top. They're like the degenerates over at Wall Street Bets, which it shouldn't be that way because they're trading with other people's money. It's one thing if it's your money, but when it's somebody else's money, how can you justify buying the market up this high? So, but that's what they're choosing to do. So for right now, I'll keep my eye on that breakout higher to at least 110 to 120. I really don't expect the market to get higher than that. I really don't. However, I mean, anything can happen overnight. But I think 120 might be the furthest that this market goes until we get the news going into tomorrow. And if the market does go lower, I think the lowest we get is a double bottom. Possibly 19, yeah, exactly where the 200 EMA is. Probably that 85 level, 985. So I'm gonna actually mark that on the chart just in case. Okay, that's good enough. So I think if the market does rotate lower, this will be the lowest that it goes, because if you look to the left, you can see it's small, but it's definitely price action. You can see that there was distribution here. And from this level, you can see that the bears or the bulls were able to expand outside of this level. So I believe we already got a retest of the top of this range. Yeah, we got a retest of the top of this range already. So what's left is the bottom of this range. And this is why I believe this will be the lowest we go. It's at 185 level. Because we already got a test at the top of the range, or close to it, right here. And the bulls bought it up, so. All right, that's what we got for right now on the NQ. Let's head over to the ES. Now, I called out 2 levels earlier in the stream for the bulls to come in and bounce it higher. We was looking at 51 as our first level. And I actually took this trade here at 51. I took this trade and I was able to get out at 62. The reason why I got out of this trade was because of this range right here. We got this bearish move down. We got this bearish move down, this move up right here. And I just knew that in order for the bears to continue this, or the bulls to continue this higher, we needed at least a double bottom. So once I saw that it was about to test the top of this range, and when I started to see some weakness, I did close this position. And I'm glad I did close this position because we got this move down to my other level. And that was the main reason why I kind of closed this position as well, because I was really looking for the market to trade into this 45 level. But I didn't think the bears was going to be able to move this market down, which is another good example of allowing the market to move, because I didn't believe the market was going to get down here, and it got down here. So that was a learning lesson. But unfortunately, after I took profits on this, and I was actually long on the ESR. I was long on both the Nasdaq and the ES today. I think I had that those trades. I think I had those trades. Yeah, I think I was long both the Nasdaq and the ES. Yeah, so yeah. So yeah, I took the trade at, I thought I got it at 51, but I guess I got it at 53. So I was both long the ES and the NQ, trading both instruments. And that's why I got out of this one. That was another reason why I got out of this one. But like I said, I would have preferred to get into this trade. This was the real trade I was looking for, the 345 one. And you can see that we got a retest of the bottom of this range. The market does appear like it wants to sell off, but as you can see that the market broke out of this trend line that was going down. Let me erase that so you can see it. So we got a breakout of that trend line. And you can see the bulls are now finding support at the top of this trend line. So what that tells me is to look for a breakout higher. That's what this tells me. If the market does break out lower, I think this is the lowest that they go. I think the lowest we go is that 53 to 51 level if the bears come in. However, if the market does trade down here, I know that there's going to be bulls at that left shoulder, here at the right one. And we can definitely see a move up, but in my opinion, the breakout higher is more likely. And if we do get a breakout higher, let me see, what am I looking for? Okay, so let's look at the chart real quick. I think the market could, either the market is going to chop here. I think we can get back to 68. 71 to 68. I think the market can at least trade back up here, or at least inside this range. At least get to the top of this range here at 68. I think that's what at least the ES can do overnight. Because if you look over here at the hourly chart, you can see that the market is definitely in an uptrend. We've got the bearish rotation down. It found support here at this range, and the market has been trading higher. So the hourly is bullish. In my opinion, you should be looking for longs. If the hourly turns bearish, in my opinion, I feel that you should be looking for shorts. But overall, the hourly is long. So it's more likely for the market to trade higher, especially that we got this breakout of this trend. And if the market does break out higher due to the news, I believe that the market can get up to 54. I really believe the market can get up to 54 because that will be the next, and that will be the next level for the market to get up into on the ES. Because the ES is not going to necessarily move as much as the NQ, but for a significant move from where it's at now, I think 5,400 is going to be that next level or somewhere close to it. Yeah, I think 5,400 will probably be that next level if we get that expansion higher. And let me actually measure this actually. I can see that. I can see 88. Yeah, around like 388. Yeah, 388. Yeah, 388. All right, so I'm going to keep this right here. Because we had an expansion lower below the range, and they're going to want to test the same amount above the range. So I can definitely see probably that 390 level. Yeah, I think, yeah, 390 might actually be that level that we can see tomorrow on the ES. Yeah, most definitely. Because the way the market is set up now, it's highly unlikely that the market rotates lower. It's highly unlikely. And then from this level, if we do see a bullish move up, we can possibly start seeing the market start to grind down. Now that I'm really thinking about past news events like this, because we had this massive move up, we've had this pullback, it looks like the market wants to at least retest the high and expand further. And we've seen this move plenty of times, and tomorrow is Friday. So I'm assuming that people are going to want to trade the market higher. If we get to that 390 level, I'm just gonna watch the market. I'm going to watch the market to see if it goes higher or if it begins to grind lower. Because now that I think about it, I think that may be a possibility for tomorrow. A pop and then a grind lower from this level. But we'll see. We will definitely see. I think that's it. I think that's it. Because I don't think the market trades lower tomorrow. I think the market stays right here. They might have a bullish reaction to the news tomorrow. And this is the area where I think that the market could definitely trade into. And once we get in price to trade into this area, we can definitely see the market either continue higher, but what's more likely to happen is for the market to trade down. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think that's it. I mean, if anybody has any questions, if anybody has a stock that they want me to look at and do some analysis on, I don't mind doing it. If not, then we can end the NA meeting here. But let's look at GME and see what's going on over there. And look at the gamma levels for GME. So yeah, that's absolutely crazy that one person influenced this stock so much. It's almost about to touch 70 on this thing. We have a gamma level here at 100 on GME. That doesn't mean that it'll reach it, but just know that usually the market does touch the biggest gamma levels when it's on the chart. You can see that this $40 level got touched. Obviously, it traded above this high. And honestly, I think majority of this is a stop run. This most likely is a stop run. When you see the price trades in one direction without any distribution, this is usually a stop run. And with stop runs, we usually get a pullback. So if you're in this and you're able to close your position in profit tomorrow when the market opens, I wouldn't recommend anything. Just be mindful. That is a great possibility that the market may trade back into this area and it may trade back to this 40 level. So just be mindful of that. We can look at NVIDIA real quick before we end the stream. Because NVIDIA is definitely holding this market up. Okay, so we did see a drop on NVIDIA. Remember, the stock split is tomorrow, but the new price will be reflected in the stock market on Monday. Mia Smith has already given our opinions on this stock split. You can do what you want with your money, but historically, when they do stock splits, the price runs up and they dump it. You can get in at whatever level you want to get in. However, if you wait for that pullback, which there will be a pullback, to get the best price possible on this stock, that will be the better play. I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of FOMO, but you don't want to be the person that's going to be holding the bag at the top. Because the market will drop. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen this week or next week, but the stock will drop and you don't want to be in at the top. So, all right, that's all I have. I do appreciate everybody that joined, and we'll do this again at New York Open. Peace out. He said, have I looked at General Electric? Their stock split stock into 3. Let's actually look at that. General Election is GE, right? I think it's GE. Yeah, or GE Aerospace. Building Boeing engines. Huh. You know, crazy thing is, I used to actually work for GE as a welder. We had a work-related incident and everybody got fired. And from there, that was my last job doing construction. I will say that I enjoy welding. It is an art if you're good at it. But after that incident, that really opened my eyes to the dangers of that work environment, because that dude, he didn't lose his life, but he lost the quality of his life. He definitely lost the quality of his life. And it was an incident that could have been easily avoidable. So because I was a contractor at the time, GE fired all the contractors and some of their staff because that lawsuit that was coming up was going to be definitely big. So, uh, but when does GE do a stock split? When does that happen? Let's actually look at that. You said that GE they split their stock into three. So GE Aerospace, the change. Well, right now, Boeing is not a good name anymore. At least right now, until they can get something to take the heat off of them. They're having a lot of quality issues, which they shouldn't. And hopefully they get that resolved. But all right, guys, I appreciate y'all guys joining. Peace out.